Well, to start off now, after looking to, of course, undo decisions taken by the previous BJP regime in Karnataka, the Congress dispensation in the state is looking at cornering the BJP over alleged scams during the party's tenure. Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah said that his government will investigate all the alleged scams and even irregularities that took place during the previous BJP regime, and that they will ensure that anyone responsible are appropriately punished. Now, the newly elected Congress government in Karnataka, headed by the Chief Minister, has ordered to stop all projects sanctioned by the previous BJP government, that was earlier, of course, and place them under review. Now, in response, of course, former Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai has, of course, said that it will affect the people. But as far as the investigation is concerned, he has said that he is prepared to face any investigation in any department and that they will completely cooperate. The Congress, of course, has said that the new government would probe all the alleged scams the party had raised before the elections. Now, let's first listen to what the Karnataka Chief Minister had to say about ordering of these investigations.
4 ಮೆಡಿಕಲ್ ಕಾಲೇಜುಗಳನ್ನು ಕಟ್ಟಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹಳ ಅವ್ಯವಹಾರ ನಡೆದಿದೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಕೇಳಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಅವನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಮತ್ತು ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ 40% ಕಮಿಷನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆನೂ ಕೂಡ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಕೊರೋನಾ ಟೈಮ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅನೇಕ ಆರೋಗ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಂಥ ಸಾಮಗ್ರಿಗಳನ್ನು ಕೊಂಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ಯವಹಾರಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ನಡೆದಿದ್ದಾವೆ. ನಾನು ಅಸೆಂಬ್ಲಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಪ್ರಸ್ತಾಪ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ. ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆನೂ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ನೀರಾವರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಭಾಳಷ್ಟು ಅವ್ಯವಹಾರಗಳು ನಡೆದಿವೆ, ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆನೂ ಕೂಡ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಬಿಟ್ಕಾಯಿನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆನೂ ಕೂಡ ತನಿಖೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಸಬ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟರ್ಗಳು ಆಯ್ಕೆ ತನಿಖೆ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ CIDಯಿಂದ. ಅದನ್ನು ಇನ್ನಷ್ಟು ಚುರುಕು ಮಾಡಿ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರು ತಪ್ಪಿತಸ್ಥಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಶಿಕ್ಷೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ.
Now, while Mr. Siddaramaiah, of course, has been talking about all of these scams, he talks about the alleged Bitcoin scam, he's talking about the PSI, investigation that's, of course, going on by the CID, which is going to be speeded up, and he says the guilty will be brought to book. As far as Mr. Basavaraj Bommai is concerned, who, of course, was the Chief Minister in the previous tenure for most of the period, he remains quite unfazed. He says he's ready for any sort of investigation.
ಏನು ಬೇಕಾದ ಮಾಡಲಿ, ಯಾವುದೇ ಥರದ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟಿಗೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಲಿ, ನಾನು ಸ್ವಾಗತವನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಯಾವುದೇ ಇಲಾಖೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಪ್ರಕರಣ ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನೂ ಕೂಡ ತನಿಖೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಸ್ವಾಗತವನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ.
Well, now to discuss more about this issue, we have Prashant from the BJP. We also have Bhavya Narasimhamurthy from the Congress party. And B.S. Arun, senior journalist, also joins us on this broadcast. As, of course, right now, the political tug-of-war continues. And right now, it's the Congress party which says that they will investigate the alleged scams that they have been mentioning about. Let me come to Bhavya first. Bhavya, this is a very, a strong statement that has come in from the Chief Minister. As far as the Congress, of course, you've been making multiple allegations before the election. At this point in time, there's no clarity. Of course, you've been talking about ordering investigations. But up until now, we are nearing the budget session. But there has been no clear-cut direction in which these investigations will proceed. Or, you haven't spoken about who will head these investigations, whether there'll be a special team. Could you give some clarity if the Congress party, of course, has it at this point?
So it's been, a few days, over a month since our party took over the administration, since the Chief Minister took oath. Right after that, we concentrated completely on implementing our guarantees, and now this is the budget session. Of course, there have been a lot of talks, including the BJP MP Pratap Simha calling this adjustment politics, not trusting their own leaders, saying that they have some adjustment with us, and that's why we are not conducting any investigations. But we are very clear. Every allegations we have made against BJP, those will be investigated. And we will make sure, whoever is the culprit will be brought to justice, starting from Corona scam to PSI scam to Bitcoin scam or, 40% commission scam, everything. We will make sure the investigation happens and, the justice is served. As you know, like I said, it's just been few days, over a month since we took administration. So, and it's not just Mr. Pratap Simha, then comes Mr. Ishwarappa, who blames the outsiders. They said we took them inside and they have become a problem to maintain discipline in the party and all that. And then comes Mr. Yatnar, who wants Mr. Bommai saying, you know, if DK Shivkumar
Well, that's
sir
a
comes
different
to his
issue
house,
altogether,
he should
Bhavya.
avoid-
We'll of
as
course
is
come to
Mr.
that, but let
Bommai
me
doesn't
bring in
have his own-
Prashant here. Prashant, it's a precarious situation for you. Before the election, of course, you were vehemently defending, yourselves that the entire charge of 40% corruption is all bogus. It was just a gimmick. Right now, of course, they're assuring an investigation. Within your party, some of them wanted an investigation. How are you really looking at this?
Deepak, any investigation which is done in a fair and transparent way, we welcome it. And time and again, we have reiterated that there is no truth in this 40% commission scam which is alleged by the Congress. And we've always said that please probe it. Now, because the Contract Association President, Mr. Kempanna, who made such a hue and cry when BJP was in power, has now gone silent for the last 1.5 months ever since Congress took over, because it's not that that's the said contractors were not doing any work during that regime, and they're also continuing. So now he's not even talking about the works being stopped midway, which will impact development. He's not even talking about it. So let the investigating agencies conduct a
myself, Prashant. I did
welcoming
speak to him myself, but Kempanna did, of course, mention payments were pending. He met the Chief Minister just a couple of days ago. I was there to meet him, and he did, of course, raise these issues that payments are pending. He did say that usually during a change of a regime, it takes about 10 to 15 days for payments to get cleared. It's been a month and it's not come in. He had met the Chief Minister, so you can't say he's gone silent all of a sudden.
Deepak, it's not about meetings. See, for optics, what they're doing may be up to them. But on the ground, the way they agitated and the way they blew the lid saying it is big scam and 40%. Now, where is Mr. Kempanna in such wise? Why should he give that benefit of saying it's only 1 week or 10 days? Let him demand his rightful dues. If Kempanna feels he has done no wrong, he should demand his rightful dues from the government, which is not doing. And by the way, the law on corruption, I think, is very clear. The other experts may also clarify, not only the person who pays the bribe, but the recipient and the giver both have to be brought to book. So if Mr. Kempanna has alleged that he has paid bribe to ABC, which means he's equally guilty. So the Congress must be willing to probe that angle as well. They can't merely say that we're only probing one side of it. So all that we're saying is we welcome any investigation which is done in a fair and transparent manner, and let them investigate every decision which is taken by the BJP government. Let them go back 5 years in time.
Prashant, quickly, I'd like to ask you, I want a quick answer on this. We have another topic to discuss too today. Prashant, quickly give me an answer here, Prashant. Hold on. Right now, I want you to tell me, because Lok Sabha elections are just a few months away. Right now, an investigation into multiple, projects that were completed or launched during the BJP time. And they're talking about procurement during COVID. They're talking about the Bitcoin issue. All of this opening up right now. How much of an impact do you think it will have on the BJP, because you have the Lok Sabha just coming up?
Deepak, remember in 2018 polls also, when Congress and JDS formed the coalition, and the Lok Sabha in 2019 elections came, BJP emerged victorious in 25 seats out of 28. So therefore, people of the state have understood, because Congress is trying to bring out these things only to hoodwink the people and to wean them away or to divert their attention from their failure of poll promises. Now we are seeing on the ground. It's not that BJP is not saying you implement, don't implement. People have realized what Congress is doing. They want applications before. Why? What on earth makes Siddaramaiah to say women need to apply online to get the bus pass free? No. The moment you say that it's free for women, they should be able to travel. So we are not even getting on to technicalities of that. All that we're saying is Congress is now trying to divert its attention from its failure to keep up the poll promises, which have realized it's not happening. They're trying to blame the center where there is no issue, because they have realized that they have run out of stock, which means of ideas. They are morally bankrupt for ideas. They're trying to blame the center for an issue that they're trying to create. So we will wait for it. Let them investigate.
Okay. Let's not go into that again. Let's stick to this topic. I'm going to ask a quick question to Mr. B.S. Arun, of course, who's been patiently waiting. Mr. Arun, when you look at this politically, these sort of investigations being opened up, especially in the run-up to a major election, which party really stands to gain and which party stands to lose here?
Deepak, first of all, I would welcome these investigations. But then, if it is being done by the state police, there is a possibility of it getting, sort of a pro-government investigation. Already, the CID is doing a good
Mr.
job.
Arun, this becomes a very precarious situation, isn't it? Because you give it to central agencies, you're going to say that under the BJP. If you give it to state agencies, you're going to say it's under the Congress now. So where do you really look at any sort of fair probe happening?
Deepak, I have a suggestion. Here, the state government should give it to the judiciary. It should be a court-monitored investigation. Then only we can have a proper, transparent, and uniform investigation into these allegations. If the allegations are true, then people would be punished. The court is going to take over the entire issue. To that extent, I think the state government should act in this way, because both the parties, there will be allegations, there will be charges that this is supporting the state police, will be supporting the state government. So that is going to be the natural accusation. So instead of that, if the state government hands it over to the judiciary, saying that let it be a court-monitored investigation, and that would, I think, please all, and that would be the right way to go. That is my. And as far as the other, your point is concerned, being a political party, I think Congress has taken a decision. Perhaps the BJP also would have taken a similar decision if it had come to power. Of investigations into these earlier, the so-called charges of misappropriation.
Well, Bhavya, that's an interesting point Mr. Arun says, because, there have been allegations that there has been adjustment politics that's been happening. Would you say that, it's fair enough that you give it, as a court-monitored probe so that, there is no doubt in the minds of the people that, there will be a fair investigation, or even the political parties here?
The BJP leaders come out and they say we have adjustment politics. Why aren't we investigating when we have blamed them during their ruling government? And now when we are initiating an investigation, now they want to doubt on us? We're setting up a special investigation team for this. This is all we can do. What more can we do to
the BJP didn't doubt it was Mr. Arun. Mr. Arun, of course, was not with any party. He's saying that it would be only fair if it's a court-monitored probe.
Yes, I'm welcoming these investigations, but it has to be a court-monitored one.
The details of the investigations are still not out. We just wanted to make it very clear that whatever we said before elections, we are sticking to that. Whether it is our promises through guarantees, or whether it is the corruption scams and whatever
I want all of you all to stay with us. I want all of you all to stay with us. As far as this investigation is concerned, that's not the only worry for the BJP. Bhavya, hold on. I'll come back to you. Hold on. Now, in the BJP in Karnataka at this point in time, of course, it's yet to recover from the poll drubbing. And at this point in time, there's a lot of infighting that's happening within the party. There are a lot of statements that are being said, out there in public programs. And somewhere the party is struggling to put up a united front, and infighting has become the order of the day. Now, there's not one but multiple instances that have come to the fore that's indicating that all's not going well for the BJP in the state. First, of course, let's talk about what happened in Bagalkot. Drama has been playing out there at a party event after a section of BJP workers demanded that those who worked against the interests of the party should be ousted from the party. Many leaders, including Bommai, were a part of this particular event. This was in Bagalkot yesterday, of course, but many of them, of course, didn't have an option but to stay mum. Then we also had yet another incident. That was in Vijayapura. Supporters of, MLA Mr. Basangowda Patil Yatnal created ruckus for, starting a party program before his arrival. Now, both these instances have come, of course, at the backdrop of statements made by Yatnal, Pratap Simha and a few other senior leaders. They've alleged here adjustment politics that's been happening with rival parties. Let's, look at some of the drama that's been happening. It's not just here. There's also Ramnagar. There was also Bengaluru. Multiple instances in Karnataka that we've seen this sort of a drama.
ಪ್ರತಾಪ್ ಸಿಂಹ ಅವರು ಇದನ್ನು ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಪ್ರತಾಪ್ ಸಿಂಹ ಅವರಿಗೆ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೇನೆ, ಈ ರೀತಿ ಸಾರ್ವಜನಿಕವಾಗಿ ಮಾತನಾಡೋದು ಸರಿಯಲ್ಲ. ಮತ್ತು ಬೊಮ್ಮಾಯಿ ಅವರು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ 2.5 ವರ್ಷಗಳ ಕಾಲ. ಅನೇಕ ಸರ್ತೆ ರಾಜಕಾರಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಳ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ ನಂತರವೂ ಸಹಿತ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಪರ್ಸೆಪ್ಷನ್ ಕಾರಣದಿಂದ ನಾವು ಸೋತಿರ್ತೀವಿ. ಆದರೆ ಸೋತಾಗ ಸಾರ್ವಜನಿಕವಾಗಿ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡೋದು ಸರಿಯಲ್ಲ. ನಿಮಗೇನಾದರೂ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಇದ್ದರೆ ನೀವು ರಾಜ್ಯ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಿಗೆ, ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಿಗೆ, ಸಂಬಂಧಿಸಿದವರಿಗೆ ಮಾತನಾಡಿರೋ ಅಂತ ಸಲಹೆಯನ್ನು ನಾನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಅವರು ಒಪ್ಪಿಕೊಂಡು ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಕಡೆ ಹೇಳಿಕೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸಗಳಾಗಿರುವಂಥದ್ದನ್ನು ಕಂಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ನಾನು ನಿನ್ನೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಹಿರಿಯರಿಗೆ ಮಾತನಾಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ನಾಯಕರುಗಳಿಗೆ ಮಾತನಾಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಇವತ್ತಿಂದ ಯಾರೂ ಯಾವುದೇ ಹೇಳಿಕೆಗಳನ್ನು ಕೊಡಬಾರ್ದು. ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ಶಿಸ್ತು ಮತ್ತು ಅನುಶಾಸನದ ಅಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಮತ್ತು ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನೋಟಿಸನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಯಾರೇ ಹೇಳಿಕೆಗಳನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟರು ಅವ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಶಿಸ್ತು ಕ್ರಮ ಕೈಗೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತದೆ, ಅವರಿಗೆ ಶಿಸ್ತಿನ ನೋಟಿಸನ್ನು ಕಳಿಸ್ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಮತ್ತು ಪಾರ್ಟಿಯ ಶಿಸ್ತು ಮತ್ತು ಅನುಶಾಸನದೊಳಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಪಾರ್ಟಿಯನ್ನು ಮತ್ತೆ ಕಟ್ಟಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಲೋಕಸಭಾ ಚುನಾವಣೆಗೆ ಪೂರ್ವ ತಯಾರಿಯಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಕೆಲಸ ಕಾರ್ಯಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಮುಂದಿನ ಚುನಾವಣೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಲೋಕಸಭೆಯನ್ನು ಗೆಲ್ಲಿಸುವುದೇ ನಮ್ಮದೆಲ್ಲರ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಕೋನ ಆಗಬೇಕು.
Well, Mr. Prashant, I definitely have to come to you and ask you this question here. Well, BJP for the last several years has known to be a party which has a strong high command, loaded with discipline. You do not have, such sort of behavior where, leaders are speaking out against one another. But that's been happening here in Karnataka for quite some time. And somewhere we've not seen the central leadership step in. Today, after several days, the party president has spoken up and said that, we have issued notices. How are you really going to deal with this? Because you need to get your act together ahead of the Lok Sabha elections.
Definitely, one thing is, yes, after the poll debacle, maybe some of the leaders probably are venting out their feelings, saying that something has happened, which might not have been effect happened. But the perception among some of the workers or the leaders is that they could have done better. So therefore, they have come out and expressed some statements, which definitely is not the party's stand, nor BJP has ever indulged in these type of things. We are a party with a difference. We've always maintained discipline on and off the party.
Mr. Prashant, the question here is, Mr. Pratap Simha's statement came in several days ago. The party president is reacting today to it. And after, of course, Mr. C.T. Ravi made a statement, then Mr. Pratap Simha followed it up. We had, statements come in from Mr. Yatnar, who's, of course, been continuing to make statements which are quite different from, the BJP party line. So why is this soft corner for some of the leaders, or how are you really going to look at, the handling of this situation in a better way, probably at this point?
Deepak, as the state chief, Mr. Katil has put it across rightly, saying disciplinary proceedings or action in accordance with the party's constitution will be taken up. Notices will be issued. He's already mentioned that. And explanation will be sought from the leaders who have made statements which are against the party's line and against the party's line of thinking. Therefore, it's an internal matter of the party, and probably some leaders, as I said, might have made some statements in a haste, or probably without appreciating the complete circumstances. So therefore, the state chief and the disciplinary mechanism will kick in, and we will take action in accordance with what the party disciplinary committee thinks so. It's an internal matter of the party, and we will sort it out.
Okay, but I'll also have to ask the Congress spokesperson, because some of the statements that have come in, it's not just connecting to the BJP. The BJP leaders have said there's an adjustment that has happened with the Congress party that led to, the poll debacle. Bhavya, what do you have to say? Because that has been a, series of statements, not just one.
So the BJP party in Karnataka has become a leaderless party. Whether it is the state president or the ex-CM, they're unable to discipline their leaders or the workers today. And of course, you can see the disappointment in the workers and their infighting and their contradictory statements, blaming each other. Literally, Mr. Ishwarappa comes out and says, these outsiders who came to the party, they're the reason now there is no discipline in the party. And he literally says, we brought them in, and they have become the problem for the indiscipline. Then comes Mr. Somana, who claims to be, he is one of the main aspirants to become the state president. Then the current state president says, it's not, the chair is not available as of now because I'm the president until I resign. And then comes Pratap Simha, who wants to bring in adjustment politics. Then on the other hand,
but
Mr.
what about
Yatnar,
the adjustment charge that's being made about the
Mr.
Congress
Bommai
as well? Some of the Congress leaders being in cahoots with some of the BJP leaders. This is what some of the top senior leaders have said.
Exactly. Now they are so, with this defeat that Karnataka people have given them, they have no other way to vent out. They want to blame Karnataka Congress for their defeat, but of course, we are the reason for their defeat. One is their maladministration, all the corruption, and then, of course,
Deepak,
people believed in our administration, the previous government,
leaders,
when we gave a
Congress
successful
doesn't have a
administration.
national level.
And of course, Congress is the reason, but not this way.
Congress doesn't have a leader at the national level.
Sorry?
And Mallikarjun Kharge is
come
been sitting
on.
silent for
At
the
least,
last 8
we
months.
are not throwing. At least we are not throwing stones at each other. You are doing it.
No,
We
Bhavya,
have a
let me
leader.
complete.
We
For the last 8
have
months,
very
the
capable
CWC
leaders, even at
doesn't
national
have
level.
members.
Just because you
What
are in
is
the ruling
Congress
party
doing?
doesn't mean we don't have a leader.
I'll have to
We
butt in
have a
here.
leader.
Let me bring in Mr.
Appoint
Arun.
an opposition
Arun,
leader in
have you
Karnataka
seen?
ensures that you have a voice here.
Okay.
You know,
Let's not go into issues that are not connected to the debate. I request Bhavya and Prashant to kindly calm down. Let's bring in Mr. Arun into the debate. Mr. Arun, we have 6 days left before the budget session begins here in Karnataka. We do not have a leader of opposition from the BJP. This is not something that happens very often, especially how systematic the BJP has been over the years. This is not something that we see. Now, as far as even the party president is concerned, about 2 years is the term. We've seen Mr. Katir, of course, extend his term quite a bit. Even now, after the elections as well, the BJP hasn't really, responded to what happened here in terms of changes of leadership or anything of that sort. Where do you think this is the right ploy as far as BJP is concerned? Because you have elections around the corner, the BBMP is coming up, you have Lok Sabha coming up.
No, not at all. This shows that the BJP is a seriously divided house in Karnataka. There have been umpteen number of, statements exchanged, the sparring that have been exchanged over the last few days, and the party leadership is unable to rein in these people. Day in and day out, party leaders and party workers are speaking against each other. In fact, this is not a new phenomenon for the state BJP. We have seen when Yediyurappa was the chief minister, and later on, people like Yatnal and others, are targeting the state leadership, and nothing was done to calm them or to give them a warning. And he continued for days and months on. And only later, when Home Minister Amit Shah had a meeting with him, then he cooled down and stopped giving statements. So this has been going on. Now, what has been happening shows that, number one, the state party president is unable to do anything. And number two, this has spilled over to even other issues, like, as you pointed out, in the appointment, in the selection of the leader of the opposition, which is a crucial thing. And there are many factions in the BJP, which is perhaps, stopping or foiling the bid to elect a unanimous leader for the post. I think this is going to be one issue that the BJP will have to overcome right now. And the second issue is that of the state leadership. There have been, speculation over the last few days.
Let's ask that question, Mr. Prashant. We have a BJP spokesperson here. Let me put that question, Mr. Arun, to Mr. Prashant. Where is, the leader of the opposition? We have 6 days to go for the budget session. Who's going to prepare to counter the Congress there on the issues that you want to really raise? You've been, of course, saying that you're going to protest outside the assembly over, not properly implementing the 5 guarantees. But who's going to do it? Who's your leader?
Deepak, your question had the answer. We have 6 days to go, and before the session begins, as per the norms, a leader of opposition will be named, and Congress will have to deal with a leader of opposition who will very strongly revert to what Congress does. And at the national level, what Mr. Kharge is doing, the CWC doesn't have members. After the plenary session which happened in Raipur, I believe, they don't have permanent members there, and Mallikarjun Kharge is all at sea, all alone. The CWC itself, the highest decision-making body of the Congress, it has no members. So it's the greatest irony that Congress is talking about some vacuum in BJP leadership at the state level, whereas at the national level itself, Congress doesn't have anybody. The CWC is non-functioning. And Mr. Kharge, all of us know, he's been made a scapegoat president who reports to the disqualified dynast MP and Mrs. Sonia Gandhi.
Okay, you had to say about the Congress, Mr. Prashant. This debate is about the BJP here in Karnataka. This is not about BJP at the center, nor is it about the Congress at the center. We're talking about BJP here. We know that you're saying, of course, there will be an appointment that will come in, but it's just 6 days to go. You've had about a month to.
The leader of the opposition will be appointed.
And what about the party president? Because we haven't heard anything on that front as well. Because you have the likes of Mr. V. Somanna, today Mr. Renukacharya, all of them saying, I want to be the party president. I've communicated it. I have an intention. Mr. Katir, of course, himself has said that his term has ended. But we are not hearing anything as far as a change or, who's going to take over. And at a time where, there is an internal fight, don't you think a strong leadership could somewhere quell the dissidents within the party?
Deepak, we know how to deal with our party thing. Our party will take a decision, appoint a president. You need not be in a hurry. It will be announced to the media also. And Congress will also get to know. It's not, we're not going to hide somebody as the president.
CWC,
so therefore,
but when it comes to their party, they will deal with it. So when it comes to Congress, they can deal with Congress.
Mr. Prashant, I'm in no hurry. The BJP can go without a leader of the opposition. If you ask me, it doesn't really concern me. Well, it was a direct question asked to you. Well, Bhavya, let him answer. Let him answer.
So answer that first.
And we can't
We have
question
6 days to go to appoint leader of opposition.
Neither can we
But
question
what
about
is
their
Mr.
party.
Karge doing for the
But
past
they
8
can
months?
question about a CM
What
who's
is
already
Karge
been
doing for the past
appointed.
8 months
They
without
can
members?
question about a
How is it
CWC,
functioning?
whether it has members or not. What double standards is
How
it?
is Mr. Karge functioning?
What double standard is it? You don't
Bhavya,
appoint a
there's no
leader
double
of
standard.
opposition, which is a constitutional position.
Bhavya,
And
listen.
you don't
Bhavya,
have
listen here.
Quickly, I'll get in a word. Okay, wait, quickly, let Bhavya speak, and then I'll get a rebuttal from Prashant. Prashant, hold on. I'll come back to you. Let's give an opportunity to Bhavya there. Bhavya, go ahead.
No, in just one statement, Mr. Prashant gave so many double standard statements. First, he blames, when we ask about leader of opposition, which is a constitutional position, which is to keep a government in check. And it is one of the most important positions which, decides the whole state administration. He doesn't care about it. He wants to talk about Congress's, a political party's working committee. Fine. But then when you ask him about their state president, they say it's their internal matter. Like, what kind of double standards is it? First, talk about leader of opposition. Why haven't you still appointed? It's been more than a month. And in fact, almost 1.5 months since the results were out. By now, at least one name should have come out. You don't
All right.
have
I'm going to get a quick word from Mr. Prashant. We are running short of time. Prashant, this is a precarious situation. I know. I don't want to put you in a fix at this point, because we've multiple people have asked this question. Bhavya, hold on. Because Prashant, finally, of course, you have 6 days. Your party president himself says his term is over. So, do you feel that? Personally, as a party man, do you feel there's a need for a strong leadership at this point in time in Karnataka?
Deepak, our party leadership is strong, and we are not saying that our party leadership is weak at all. But Bhavya from Congress has to understand that what we are saying is, we have 6 days to go to appoint leader of opposition. We will do it in accordance with what the law mandates. And insofar as the state president is concerned, yes, his original term is ended, but he's also continuing to be the party president, which means it's not that we are left with no people. Whereas in the Congress CWC, there are no members, and how is the Congress president functioning? Let them answer. See, I don't think she even understood what I was trying to convey. So they're in a hurry to trying to come out and say that we have not appointed. No, that when the time for appointment comes, the leader of opposition will be appointed, and you will get to know. Please wait. But whereas when it comes to a CWC, which is Congress's working committee, why are there no members? Which means who's running Congress? It goes back to the dynasty and the family. The family is running, so therefore the Congress doesn't need any members to run it, which is what's happening. And whereas in our party, the party president, yes, his original term had ended. He is on an extension. He's continuing to be the party president. And whenever the change comes, yes, obviously, if the president changes, yes, it will happen. What's wrong in it? But we have a working president, Mr. Katil, who's working day and night to ensure that we also win the Lok Sabha. And whenever the change has to come in, it will come in. But we are working, our party leadership is united. We are working. There may be some small incidents here and there, but we are working together as a cohesive unit to ensure that we come back to power.
Right, Mr. Prashant. The BJP there says we have a strong working president. No hurries. 6 days to go for the budget session. We'll appoint the leader of the opposition. While of course it is after several days that today the party president spoke up, said action will be taken against those speaking against the interests of the party. We'll really have to see how the BJP of course deals with these internal issues, even as the Congress continues to attack them. I thank all the guests who of course been patient and joined us on this special broadcast. We are going to move on of course from